In this video, we'll see how we can use AWS Amplify Gen 2 with NextJS to initialize and deploy our resources on AWS Cloud. Amplify Gen 2 added more enhancement and simplify the process of building the web applications and mobile applications. It provides more customization. It also integrates the CDK tools, and also it provides us the sandbox environment so we can test our things in the development mode. Now, to get started, we'll first create NextJS project. To do that, I'll open the CMD tool and then I'll run the command npx create next app and then the name of the app. In my case, I write Amplify YouTube and hit enter. Now here we have some options to choose from. I'll use the default one, but you can also use if you want to customize some. Now once the setup complete, I can open the VS Code here. Now once our Next.js project set up, it's time to install the Amplify packages and the default template where we can customize and add resources. To do that, let's run the command npm create amplify at the real latest. Once completed, you can see the Amplify folder, the root of our project, and then we have some couple of files. Now the main file here is the backend.ts, where we'll import all our resources up and run this project. Now we need an AWS account. I assume you have the AWS account, and if you go back to your AWS account, you will see the IAM identity center. You can also type here and just click on it. Now, if you logged in as a root user, it is the best practice to always create a IAM user that have the required permissions to develop or to architect the project. To do that, let's click on the users tab here. I already have some users created here. Let's create a new one. I'll name it Amplify and then hit next. Now, if you have permissions group, you can also assign that. For now, we'll attach the permissions or policies directly. Here we'll give the permission, administer access, amplify. Also, we'll give the amplify backend deploy full access. And then we'll hit next. And then create user. Now in the user tab, we have the security credential tab. Here we need to create the access key that we'll use locally to authenticate our terminal with the AWS cloud. Select the command line. Now here you can download the CSV file containing the environment variable. Now to configure our profile locally, let's run the command npx ampx configure profile. It will ask if you already have the IAM user credentials. Click yes. And then here we need to paste that access key and the secret key we just created. Now back on this page, you can click on show. And then here you need to copy the access key and then the secret key. For region, you can give any region here. And now our profile successfully is created. Now let's run the sandbox. Now, if you are running the sandbox environment for the first time, it will open the AWS dashboard page where we need to bootstrap our project. Now, what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is the initial step where AWS prepare your region for the deployment of the resources on the cloud. It only occur in a region only one time when you deploy your project for the first time. We need to click on the initialize setup now, and then it will bootstrap my account in this region. Now our project is successfully deployed and bootstrapped. Let's move back to the VS Code, and then we can re-enter this command. Now the sandbox deployed all the changes and it is up and running. So that means we can use all the AWS resources we defined here into our front-end project. So for example, we just got the Amplify output JSON that define all the configuration of each service. And if we want to use this, we can use these services in the front-end components. Now, in this video, we'll not cover any front-end part, but in the later video, we'll see how we can use the resources on the front end and the Amplify helper libraries to actually build a full stack application. If you want to use the AWS configurations in the front end, you need to export one important file, which is the Amplify output JSON, and then you will also need to import the Amplify package to configure this output file with Amplify. And now you can use the configure handler and pass the output file. This will allow you to use AWS services on the front end and to do a development. When the development completed and we are good to deploy our changes, we need to push that code into a source provider, and then we'll connect that repository with AWS Amplify. So we'll deploy our app in the production. To do that, let's commit it out. To push our code, I'll use the GitHub desktop. And I have selected our project, and now I need to publish the changes. I'll keep that name. We can keep the source code private, and then let's publish. Once our code is deployed, let's move to AWS console and let's open the Amplify dashboard. Now let's create a new app. Then here choose the source provider and hit next. It will authenticate you with the GitHub, and then you can choose your repo. Once you review all the changes, and now you can save and deploy. Now you can see the manage sandboxes button here. This will open the page where you can see all your teams environments as well and yours as well. So if I click on it, we can see we have the sandbox up and running. So this is the account setup and the configuration part. In the next video, we'll see how we can use these services and how to manage our sandboxes and how we can use AWS Amplify APIs and libraries to connect our front end with the backend resources. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll connect soon.